Two Blue Vortex Chapter 13 has changed the story forever. Nobody saw this coming. Well, except maybe one man. Because Koji's brand new Shinjutsu awakening has revealed multiple Boruto timelines. There are several futures that should have happened, such as Naruto losing to Ishiki and dying, and then Kawaki killing Boruto and Sarada. This recontextualizes the entire flash-forward scene from Chapter 1, with Boruto claiming if this was truly the only outcome, as he must create his own fate to save the planet. This is because, in every future, Boruto is meant to pass away with Kawaki being fed to the god tree. But that's not all. With Kashin Koji becoming Boruto's sensei, we learn how he became the most powerful shinobi of all time. And don't worry, I know time travel is hard to understand and there's a lot of anime bullshit science behind it, but patrons and YouTube members sharing their chakra make it possible for me to break everything down. So please consider to join by checking out the link in the pinned comment. Now, Chapter 13 kicks off with Jura no-scoping Boruto from across the freaking map. My man has aimbot, and in one of the timelines, our MC was meant to perish in this very moment, with a second blast finishing the job. However, his fate alters due to bug popping up to tell Jura that he is getting help, and that's how Boruto knew about the nature of thorn souls. This intrigues Jura, but also proves to be quite a challenge. As he mentions, it's like the heavens themselves are trying to keep the young lord alive, even wondering if this is perhaps what they call divine intervention. Yep, you just heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. Boruto is the honored one.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
No. Wait.
Now, before you call this plot armor and some bullshit, it actually isn't. Remember in Chapter 12, the only reason Jura intended to kill Boruto, who like Kawaki can serve as a sacrifice to the god tree, was due to the dangerous knowledge he possesses about Shinju. However, if there is someone else feeding Boruto the information, then that real threat is the person, as they could stop their evolution and desire for knowledge. So, it's a waste of good fodder for Jura to kill Boruto now, hence why he decides to spare him. This points towards Kashin Koji being their next target, which seamlessly ties into the story perfectly, as just like Boruto being the star of hope, he is the star of change, as Ishiki dubbed him, someone that possesses a Shinjutsu power that is changing fate. It's a direct parallel to Jiraiya, whom he's cloned from, as he too was changing fate by going up against pain, providing crucial information to Naruto, who was the child of prophecy he nurtured to bring about prosperity to the world. Regardless of this, Jura and Bug must head back to the base with Hidari's thorn soul before it rots away, so they can bring him back to life. In the meantime, as Boruto begins to lose consciousness, he takes a trip down memory lane. We go back to the past, specifically 1.5 years ago. It's events after Sasuke became a tree in Chapter 4 as he lost to Ko. Boruto surrounded by shinobi hunting him down. In spite of this, out of nowhere, a frog appears to help him. Koji explains how he surveyed the area, but doesn't believe there's a need for violence and for Boruto to kill 20 innocent shinobi who are ignorant of the truth. However, he offers a way out, and Boruto must trust him since he didn't snitch. Like, my man Koji is a G. From there, Kashin Koji uses a reverse summoning to bring Boruto to Orochimaru's hideout and safety. He used genjutsu on the outside to make it invisible to anybody else. We learn his frogs aren't real and are scientific ninja tools, which he can control via his chakra. So bad news to all those theorists talking about Mount Baku and Great Sage Toad and all that shit, and oh, there's a contract. Remember all those theories about, oh, remember in that Naruto episode episode where they showed the contract and there's a name there we don't recognize. That must be Koji. Goodbye, those theories. Now, these frogs also function like a walkie-talkie, as Koji can use them to talk through, which of course we have seen Boruto do throughout Two Blue Vortex. Nonetheless, the young lord asks who the hell this stranger is, and Koji reveals what remains of his mask to remind him. Koji first encountered Boruto in chapter 23, where he spared his life after showing him the karma, as he was investigating it to find out a procedure to kill Otsutsuki. He wanted Boruto to meet up with Kawaki to see what resonance would do to gain more data. Currently, Kashin Koji's memories are informing him that Boruto is the one that fled from Kara and he assisted the escape. He's aware of omnipotence, but just like Sarada had informed in chapter 1, nobody ever recognizes that something isn't quite right, as over time, omnipotence will continually erase the truth and make them have no doubts about their altered memories. However, Kashin Koji unlocked a power that makes him built different. Like, literally, Kishimoto, he cooked peak fiction.
Peak.
Essentially, each Kara cyborg was made with the Otsutsuki god Shibai's DNA. Shibai harvested many planets in the past and mastered every Shinjutsu. Thus, Amada hoped that his cyborgs may be capable of adopting one of these Shinjutsu for themselves. Now, unlike ninjutsu or senjutsu, this power requires no hand seals to be performed and bring upon phenomena resembling the work of Kami. Amado considers ninjutsu as attempts at reproducing the effects of Shinjutsu. For example, Code awakened his claw marks, Damon unlocked reflection, whilst Ada was given the uncontrollable omnipotence. Now, some weren't so lucky, like Boro and Delta, as they never unlocked theirs, but whilst on his deathbed against Ishiki, Kashin Koji became enlightened and awakened his own. Bruh, I'm telling you, it gave him access to animeexplain.com to read the freaking leaks. He read the leaks, people. He read the entire manga in the future. But learning the future, Kashin Koji decided to run away and not die as a tool against Ishiki, which was initially his plan and he was ready for. His Shinjutsu is called 10 Directions. So, like pretty much everything in Naruto, this is inspired from Buddhism, where in Japanese it's known as Jippo. This refers to all physical space in the universe, 10 directions being all 8 points on a compass plus up and down. In Buddhist texts, it is explained that he is everywhere in all directions, with 3 existences representing the past, present, and future. Kishimoto used this concept and adapted it into Kashin Koji Shinjutsu power. Eventually, peering into the future, Kashin Koji knew that Naruto would unlock Baryon mode. He knew Kawaki would kill Ishiki. Heck, this could even explain how Koji subconsciously knew his fate was linked to Konoha. You see, the timeline isn't linear. It's a battle royale of multiple possible futures, all fighting to become the real future. This isn't a multiverse or multiple Boruto and Naruto's existing in different worlds. It's one linear timeline that is changing constantly. Now, brother, look, sister, you might not have the IQ or the reading comprehension to understand this. That's why you need to subscribe, hit the like button right now, and hit the notification bell. Because I'm gonna break this shit down.
Let's go.
So basically, imagine reality is like a car driving on a road that forks into different paths. When each path is taken, multiple new paths are presented once again. However, there is only one reality, and these paths are not alternative realities. Rather, it's just a possibility that ceases to exist once a path is taken. For example, in one future that did not occur, Naruto was killed by Ishiki, resurrecting fully in Kawaki, and Earth was destroyed by the Divine Tree. This isn't some timeline that exists somewhere in the void. It's something that could have happened but didn't. Another future was when Kawaki went rogue and sealed away Naruto. He ends up killing Boruto and Sarada. Remember what he said back in chapter 78? He told Sarada that if she doesn't want to die, don't get involved. Thus, in that future, Kawaki stuck to his word. After that, Code whooped his ass and was fed to the god tree. This is why in 2 Blue Vortex chapter 3, Boruto warned Kawaki not to approach Code and provoke him, as he knew he'd be handed another L. However, in this sacred timeline, Sasuke survived against Ishiki, where he arrived to protect his daughter against Kawaki. Overall, in every future Kashin Koji witnesses, they all have a similar ending. Kawaki is consumed, where the world is ultimately destroyed with everyone dead. Like, bro, my man is taking multi-timeline L's. This is like the biggest L any character in fiction could receive.
I'm like, what is it? Me for?
It's quite poetic. Koji is a clone of Jiraiya, who bore a mighty fate just like Ishiki said. In the time travel arc, Jiraiya told Sasuke how a novel is much more interesting if you don't know how it ends, even though he knew Sasuke came from the future. Jiraiya was meant to nurture a child that would either bring great destruction into the world or save it. Now in parallel, Kashin Koji must do the same with Boruto, bringing the story full circle. Koji must change Boruto's fate in favor of saving it, and Jiraiya, who died against pain, was able to pass on a message to Naruto, which ultimately acted as the catalyst towards changing destiny. Except in this instance, Koji escaped with information to give to Boruto personally to stop the worst future. This is something we've seen Boruto mention in chapter 2. He told Code if he didn't stop his Claw Grime army, the worst possible outcome would begin. It's also why Kashin Koji told off Boruto for putting the entire world at risk when he faced off against Hidari in the Ten Tails dimension for the first time, as it's now clear that if Boruto stayed there any longer, it would have triggered the end. Koji even told Boruto how the Shinju will come into existence. And if you take a look at this panel, there is someone very familiar. It's the young lord of the sand, Shinki.
Huh?
That's right, Gaara's overpowered adopted son has joined the crew. Now don't forget, Shinki is pretty much the Sand Village's Boruto, their biggest prodigy, where together they even faced off against Atsuki level threats like Urashiki. In the Chunin exams, Mitsuki admitted that it would be impossible to beat Shinki unless he used Sage Mode. Furthermore, if Boruto hadn't cheated and used the ninja tool to produce purple lightning, Shinki would have easily won the whole Chunin exams without breaking a sweat. This is all thanks to his rare Iron Sand Jutsu. It was stated to be the most feared weapon in the history of the Sand Village, as it is the densest and most versatile. Therefore, it's important that Boruto becomes overpowered, where we learn how he increased his power 100 times and left everyone in the dust, like defeating Code in a single attack, dodging Ishiki rods without trying and making Kawaki look like a clown, and then killing Hidari. Basically, Koji used the information from the future visions to unlock a cheat code. It's like the hyperbolic time chamber you see in Dragon Ball Z, but a Naruto version. Koji knew what jutsu future Boruto would learn, and decided to teach them all to him in the present. Mind you, this is post-mastering everything Sasuke had to teach him, which was confirmed in chapter 4. Now, given that our MC is a natural-born genius and has Momoshiki's aeons worth of experience seeped into him through karma, learning everything would be a piece of cake. As a result, Boruto has the jutsu of multiple different future versions of himself. However, that's not all the good news for Boruto, as Kashin Koji also knows a method of saving his sensei, but guess what? That info's saved for later and it's edging all of us.
For the love of God!
But that's where the good news ends, as Koji then drops the bombshell that in nearly every future he's seen, Jura is destined to be the one to kill Boruto. Nonetheless, as a shinobi, Boruto is determined to do what Uzumaki's do best, by saving his brother and killing every enemy. In chapter 80, he said the same thing. He can't let brother kill brother. All he has to do is get stronger and end this quarrel, as that's what his father, Naruto, would do. This once again parallels Jiraiya, and it's a huge callback if you can remember. Look back at the scene when Jiraiya told Naruto to give up on Sasuke, but Naruto said he will remain a fool his entire life and would rescue Sasuke no matter what, which Boruto has declared once again. Following this, our MC wakes up while Sarada is suffering from nerve damage from Jura's sniper shot. Luckily for her, Himawari snaps back to reality. Wasting no time, she showcases her new Ninetales power. With no effort at all, Hima exhibits the same level of healing properties that Naruto once had, as she heals Sarada's wounds back to tip-top shape. But once she decides to go heal Boruto, Kawaki stops her. He of course doesn't want to give Boruto any chance of running away. So first, they need to apprehend him using anti-jutsu handcuffs. Amado created these, likely because the last time they tried to apprehend a fugitive, it was Kawaki, who escaped using Sukuna Hikona. However, thanks to omnipotence, they now think that Boruto was the one to escape. Thus, with these on, he can no longer use the Flying Thunder God technique to do so. Konohamaru is still an idiot and he agrees, saying it's standard procedure, and they will need to interrogate Boruto to learn what's going on. This means they can finally take Boruto in for questioning with the 8th Hokage, who happens to be Shikamaru. But we know that this dude has a big brain IQ. He had already figured out Boruto's true identity and about omnipotence, making everyone think he's guilty when Boruto's innocent. Even Kawaki has a hunch that Shikamaru has figured out what is exactly going on. However, the 8th Hokage could take this opportunity to go through Boruto's memories and find a method to prove the switcheroo that happened, where the evidence will allow him to inform everyone else. But the likely move would be to focus on the new threat of the Shinju, as they are spread not only in Konoha but across all villages. Meanwhile, Kawaki discovers Koji's toe, who will now know that he's working with his brother. The relationship between them is complicated to say the least. Though he was part of Kara, he did help Kawaki escape. Information about Kashin Koji Shinjutsu and future might end up being vital to convince Kawaki to join his brother in fighting the Shinju, especially since Jura is seeking out Naruto and wants to consume him. And since we know Kawaki loves Naruto so much, he will want to protect him and will have a joint goal with his brother once again. And we also have to think about that Amado lied once again to all of them about the amount of knowledge he possessed, all for his goal of reviving his daughter. So you can see where the story is going. It parallels Naruto, where he had Sasuke join him for the final fight against Madara, but in the end the two still fought, losing an arm each. Likewise, Boruto and Kawaki's fight will also conclude in the final arc between them, bringing us back to the flash forward shown in episode 1. However, despite everything they've tried, what is clearer than ever is that Boruto is in fact heading to the worst possible future Koji had foreseen. We come to learn this as we move back to the Shinju hideout, where Jura plants Hidari's Thorn Soul Bulb into the black cube. The tree roots fuel it with chakra, ultimately respawning Hidari as though nothing had happened to him. But the shocking twist is that another Shinju has joined the chat. This new addition is more than likely Shinki, as foreshadowed earlier, and would also mean the Shinju have already started a worldwide attack. However, if the attacks have solely been in Konoha, then alternatively, this Shinju could be Kakashi.
What do you mean? How? How have you... Oh, man.
Ikemoto did say that he had a big plan for his character. Quoting him, he stated, "It would be a spoiler, but if you have to wonder, why doesn't Kakashi get much screen time even though he's such a popular character? What a mystery." Not that I can say anything about it. Now, if you want to enjoy more peak fiction, watch this video learning the origin of Kaiju number 8 and why it chose Kafka.